Hey 56 family, this is Myra and I am doing your service recap. If you have not seen the service for this week's message, please go back onto the Water of Life website to see it, or you can go on Facebook to rewatch it. So today's message, or this week's sermon message, was faith over fear, and how faith over fear is a focus issue. The greater your focus, the greater your faith. And he talked about how the enemy wants to do three things to our focus. He wants to destroy our focus, distract our focus, and dilute our focus. And he gave three examples of how this can happen. Number one is when we focus on small things, too many little things, right? Our things that really don't matter. The second thing is when we focus on too many things. And I think that is probably one that I really can struggle with. It's just focusing on too many things, on too many things that I have to do, too many scenarios in my head, playing in my head, the what ifs, right? And the third thing is when we focus on old things. I think especially right now, for those of you who gave your life to Christ for the first time, or maybe you rededicated your life to Christ, the enemy wants you to focus on your past, but focusing on your past can destroy what God has for you in your future. So we really need to focus on Jesus. And he gave the example of Peter walking on water, and how Peter was walking on water not because he was like anything special, but because where his focus was on, and his focus was on Jesus. And there was still the wind, there was still the waters, the waves, everything happening around him, but he was so focused on Jesus that he was able to accomplish that. Well, the moment he started looking at the water and started feeling the wind, and now his focus was shifting away from Jesus and to his surroundings, that's when he started falling into the water. And it wasn't that he didn't have any more faith, which is why he sunk. It was because he was focusing on all these other things around him when Jesus was right in front of him. And I think that sometimes that can happen in our lives, where we have all of these circumstances and everything around us, all these things happening, and Jesus is right in front of us saying, hey, I'm right here, and our focus can be on something totally different. And so Peter still had faith in Jesus, and Jesus still, of course, came to his rescue. But I want to challenge you guys, maybe just to this week, to really start focusing on Jesus, on what he has right in front of you, and to continue to love him. And maybe this week continue, well, obviously always continue, but to really start to love your family a little bit different this week, because those are the two things that God asks of us, is to love God and to love others. And so when we have our focus on those things, the world is still going to be happening. The things around us are still going to be happening, and we may still be a little bit afraid. But when our focus is on Jesus, our faith is going to be bigger, and our fears will be smaller. So I hope you guys enjoyed this week's sermon, and we are so sad to not to get to see you guys still, but we are praying that we get to see you guys soon, and we will see you guys on Live-ish as well. So don't forget, there's a lot of ways that we can continue to still connect. So we love and miss you guys. Have a great day.